What's up, guys? This is Soundwave Jordan here, and we are back once again with some more Gears of War 4 news. And today we're going to be discussing some brand new exclusive screenshots courtesy by GameInformer regarding Gears of War 4. That's right, guys. For those who do not know, I have been following Gears of War 4 throughout the month due to the fact that Gears of War 4 is GameInformer's month's cover reveal for their magazine, which means they're going to be giving us exclusive news throughout the month. And of course, I will be here sharing it with you guys. So today we got some new screenshots regarding Gears of War 4 in-game screenshots, and just by looking at it, it's going to be very, very interesting. So let's read on with it. Enough of me talking. Let's start off with the first one. Gears of War 4 marks an ambitious attempt by both Microsoft and developer The Coalition to kickstart the series once again, taking it in a new direction with a fresh cast of characters while simultaneously getting back to the more horror-focused elements of the first Gears of War game. We recently took a trip to the Coalition and came back with a bloody sack filled to the brim with details and images of the game in action, like the creepy church above, which was a setting for an intense firefight we saw early on in our demo. If you want a full-size version of any of these images, click on them to access it. Alright, so this is apparently a creepy church. Let's check it out. Okay, it certainly does look creepy, and I'm getting more of a Bloodborne vibe from this image. So looks like the Coalition, aka Microsoft, you guys already know, they want to take it back to the original roots, which was Gears of War 1 being more of a scary game. As you guys know, Gears of War 1 was the scariest of the franchise, and of course, it seems like the Coalition wants to do the exact same thing with Gears of War 4, taking it back to the original roots, which I'm highly up for, because Gears of War 1 was pretty darn scary. I played it when I was young, and I was freaking terrified. And of course, I would love to see how this one turns out in terms of horror. So let's go. Okay. I won't exit out. Okay. On to the next image. Wind flares are devastating storms that rage across the surface of Sarah during Gears 4 campaign. Not only can they fry combatants into crispy bacon, but their fierce winds fling objects across the environment, turning anyone unlucky enough to be in their path into bloody smears. During the demo, we saw that players could use this to their advantage by shooting signs and barricades that hold cars and boulders in place, sending them flying into enemy soldiers. On a gruesomely amusing note, yes, corpses and dismembered limbs are curled about in the wind as well. So that's really, really interesting. I like the fact that you're actually able to shoot pieces of the environment so they can fly across and hit enemies. That's very, very, well, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say productive. I don't know, even though that's probably not the right word, but I really like that. It increases gameplay variety, and it makes the gameplay a lot more interesting in terms of, well, gameplay and mechanics. And you guys can see right here, this is JD at the bottom right. You know, it looks like he's taking cover, and this is one of the storms. This storm looks very, very deadly. I can barely tell what's going on besides the lightning, but I can tell that this is going to be visually stunning when the game actually releases. Like, it's going to be freaking fantastic, and it's going to look amazing. I cannot wait to see what more they have to reveal. All right, this is very interesting. A new type of enemy. All right. Juvies are one of the swarm's more deceptive units. On their own, these little buggers aren't too hard to handle, though their speedy movements and sliminess make them pretty creepy. However, as a group, they can take you down easily if you let them get close enough to gang up on you. So this reminds me of Wretches from the Gears of War franchise. You guys already know what Wretches are, the little monkey thingies, whatever. You know, they're pretty weird. But this is a new type of enemy called Juvies, and they do look a bit creepy. I wonder if they're going to explain how the Locusts became what they are today. Like, look at them. They evolved from some type of war army to, well, these bizarre looking creatures into dogs and all that. It looks really, really creepy. Scroll down to the next image. All right, looks like JD is having a fun time with a locust. If you're tired of the classic Lancer chainsaw finishing move, Gears of War 4 is bringing a host of new gory executions courtesy of a handy combat knife. The execution animation changes depending on where your character is standing in relation to a dazed enemy, but all of them are vicious and reminiscent of the brutal stealth executions in Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, just with a lot more brain matter. Note, the image above is technically a render and not a screenshot, but it looks pretty close to the execution animations we saw in the two demos. Alright, so let's check it out. Okay, so it looks like you're gonna be able to have new executions because of your combat knife. And for the looks of it, this happens to be one of the executions. He's stabbing the locust right into brain right into the head, and I wonder how it's going to turn out. Like, oh my gosh. But if you guys look at this type of locust, this type of variant of the locust at least, well, you guys can see this is like a, this reminds me of a standard locust from the previous Gears of War titles. You guys can see from here, he has the piece of military armor on him, and they look a lot more spiky. That's for sure. Look at his hands. Look at his shoulders. Look at his elbows. They definitely look a lot more spikier. Like I said, I'm really curious on how the locusts evolved in this game. I really hope they explain it in some type of way. In the final picture, one of the Coalition's primary goals for Gears of War is to make cover combat exciting again. The Vault Kick, a feature new to the series, is designed to let players slide over a piece of cover and kick an enemy in his face. This move stuns the enemy, leaving them front open for an execution if the player is fast enough. Be sure to return to our Gears of War 4 hub throughout the month for more information on the new weapons and enemies, the history of the Coalition, and a roundtable with the game's voice actors. You guys can access the hub by clicking on the banner below. Alright, so let's check out this image right here. Alright, so this is definitely a returning feature from the Gears of War franchise. As you guys know, this was pretty famous in Gears of War 3. As you guys know, you just hop over the, well, you will vault over the cover and just kick an enemy. Then you have a very, very fast option to kill the enemy with a shotgun or just beat them down or something of the sort. Obviously, the most famous trick was the shotgun, considering you can just blow up somebody within very, very close range. So that's nice that that's going to be returning. But what I do want to talk about is the type of locust enemy. Look at this enemy right here. What type of locust is this? Look at them. They look so weird. Like they look they look slimy, terrified. Like I'm really curious on how the locust evolved. Like I'm really, really curious. Just look at it. Looks pretty nasty, to be honest. But they do have their classic weapon, of course. And I'm really curious on how the locusts turned out to what they are today. Like I'm really curious. So that's all the screenshots for today. Obviously, that's all there is to it. We have a creepy church that resembles the horror settings of Gears of War 1. We have wind flares, devastating storms. That's what they are. We have a new enemy type called Juvies, new executions, and the Vault Kick returning with a new type of locust as seen right here. So I'm really curious on what more news they have to share with us. I'm really excited as well. We're going to be seeing more news. Right now, we're going to be seeing the next article March 14th, which is tomorrow. So be on the lookout, guys, because I will be here giving you guys the next update regarding Gears of War 4, which is tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited for what more news they have to share regarding this game. The screenshots here look fabulous. They look stunning, and I can't wait to see an actual gameplay demo of this game. We're going to probably see more news regarding this game in the upcoming weeks. I'm going to guess June, since that's this year's E3, and I'm pretty darn excited for it. With that being said, though, guys, that's all I really have to say regarding Gears of War 4. So if you guys would like to leave a like, comment, or subscribe so you can enjoy my content and enjoy any other future things. I upload gaming news and I'm currently following all Gears of War 4 news throughout the month. So hit that subscribe button for all your Gears of War 4 news, because I will be here giving you guys all the information regarding Gears of War 4. With that being said, though, guys, thank you guys for watching. As always, this is Stanley Jordan here. Peace, late, and see you guys tomorrow with the next Gears of War 4 video. I'm out and have a lovely day.